We're just a couple of hours away from the Iowa caucuses.
Some satellite locations have already begun. This is the first crucial contest of the 2020 election. There are more than 1,600 sites across the state, plus satellite locations. Democrats are preparing for a record-breaking turnout. That would mean more than 240,000 caucus goers. The party record was set in 2008.
I like a lot of the candidates. I think we have a really diverse profile this time.
The three senators in the race had to spend the day in Washington for closing arguments in President Trump's impeachment trial. They'll be rushing back to Iowa for tonight's results. The frontrunners are considered to be former Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
We have live team coverage for you. Taylor Vessel is standing by in Des Moines explaining the rules of the caucus.
But first, we go to our Capitol Bureau Chief Emily Fannin. She's live in Dubuque talking about what tonight's results will mean to the rest of the nation. Emily?
Amber, George, it's caucus sites like here at a gymnasium at a high school in Dubuque where Democratic candidates will get their first chance to prove how they can win over voters. It's a position that candidates hope to gain some momentum in hopes to win over the rest of the nation, but especially in states like battleground states like Wisconsin. Chair of the Dubuque County Democrats says they hope the message they send tonight is that it's not about President Trump, but instead an opportunity to pick a candidate who can represent what the Democratic Party stands for. But making that choice comes with challenges, as many are predicting Iowa's results tonight will be very close.
Like in 2016, we saw a very close contest. I expect that we're going to see that tonight. I think that it'll be spread out a little bit more, obviously, than it was in 2016. But I don't think anybody's going to run away with this. So I think that it also shows that Democrats have a lot of very good ideas out there.
The results will also make or break campaigns. The first test to show if Democratic candidates' messages are sticking with voters. Now, if some of the lower tier candidates don't overperform tonight, it is likely that we might see some of those candidates start to fall out of the race. Coming up tonight at 6, I'll also tell you about the hundreds of undecided voters, still undecided right now, and how big of a role they will play at caucus sites tonight.
All right, Emily, obviously the results could narrow the field, but has there ever been a candidate who did not finish in the top 3 but went on to win the nomination?
George, it's actually only happened once, as John McCain finished close to 4th in Iowa caucuses back in 2008, and then he went on to become the GOP nominee. Reporting live in Dubuque, Iowa, Emily Fannin, 27 News.
All right, Emily, thank you. Caucuses are different than primaries, and this year the rules in the Iowa caucus are changing.
Taylor Vessel with our sister station continues our team coverage from Des Moines.
With each Iowa caucus and at each and every precinct, a candidate is looking for 15 support of the room, making them viable. This year, things are a little different. That threshold still exists. However, if someone joins a group in the first round that's viable, they are locked in, unlike past years where they could be swayed to throw support behind someone else. I spoke with a political scientist professor today who's curious if that could create a large uncommitted group, making campaign activists even more important.
And then in the initial preference group formation, those who can generate enthusiasm in the room and persuade people to come to your group in the first instance, right? But then also during the realignment period, so if a group is not viable, they have a chance to realign and join some other candidate's group.
This year we'll also get raw vote totals from the first and final rounds, which the campaigns could spin as success regardless of viability. Speaking of viability, no choice or uncommitted could also be viable. It happened in '76 with President Jimmy Carter coming in second to uncommitted, and he's the man that many attribute to the popularity of the Iowa caucuses. So if caucus goers are nervous about being locked into a candidate too soon, not choosing a candidate could lock them into uncommitted just as easily. Reporting in Des Moines, I'm Taylor Vessel.